Welcome to Culture Alchemy, where we do a deep dive into film, TV, music, and the stories and trends that are lighting up the group chat. We'll discuss what it means, why it matters, and how it shapes us. I'm Antoinette.
And I'm Andrew. Each week we've got pop culture's hottest takes served fresh. We're turning pop culture into pure gold. This is Culture Alchemy. All right, Antoinette, I'm really excited about what we're talking about today. Um, as you know, I'm a big Marvel fan,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to talk about Marvel's latest release, which is Fantastic Four, and what that means for the MCU and why this movie is so important. And I'm a big Marvel fan from I'm a day one, but you've seen Fantastic Four, and you don't really you don't really. It seems like you're not don't really know what's going on. Yeah.
Okay, I wanna set the record straight. Now,
Yeah.
I know that Marvel is, I mean, this is a really special movie for
Mhm.
you because you've been a longtime Marvel fan. Now,
Yeah.
I do not dislike Marvel. I wanna be very clear. I am like Scorsese on this one. Um, I don't hate Marvel movies.
Mhm.
I think Marvel movies um can be great. They can be great. I, however, do not have an encyclopedic knowledge of the MCU, and I
Mhm.
think I've flirted a lot with different superheroes within the DC comic world and MCU. So I have a little bit of background, but I am not an expert. And so I am looking to you to be my MCU Sherpa, Andrew, because I definitely don't have the deep bench of knowledge. But I do want to be clear before everyone, all the fans come for me. I do not hate MCU. I am I am just not someone who has 30 hours to do the homework required to watch every movie I need to go watch one movie.
Yeah.
That's my thing. So, with that preamble out of the way, sorry, Andrew, you were saying?
Oh yeah, so I'm really excited to talk to you because yeah, I'm a big Marvel fan, and I want to get your thoughts. As you don't have as much homework as they say as I have done on this film, and well, yeah, what did you think of it? I had my own thoughts as well, which we'll get into, but yeah,
Mm.
what did you think of it?
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, representing the non-MCU connoisseur, I went because I really felt that the the plot itself seemed really interesting,
Mhm.
and I really liked it. I really liked it. So, what I will say is that for me, I kind of sort of knew the Fantastic Four. Um, I yeah, I knew a bit about the Fantastic Four because obviously I was aware of the storyline from the old cartoon back in the day. I kind of understood the relationship the four of them had, but
Mhm.
what I liked about this movie is, and you said this a little bit earlier, Drew, is that I didn't feel I had to do as much homework. Like I really
Mhm.
felt like I could just go and watch this movie and that they gave me all the exposition that I needed within the first like 5 to 10 minutes. And then we just accepted that we're in this world with these people and we just told the story. And I really liked that. And I really liked this movie because this movie was really about family.
Mhm.
It was really about also what what we do as humans, what we're willing to do to survive. So I think there was a lot of things that you could relate to, even if you weren't really well versed in the MCU world or understood all of the, I think, beautiful things that were peppered throughout this movie to pay homage to the Fantastic Four and to its creators, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Like I was aware of some of those little things, but even without knowing about all the little Easter eggs and the background in its entirety, I really enjoyed this movie. The acting I felt was really quite superb, actually. And shout out to Vanessa Kirby. I really
Mhm.
felt she did a great job in this movie, man. I was
Oh,
very impressed. really impressed with her performance. She was really moving. And I also, of course, what can we say about Pedro Pascal? Obviously, I enjoyed his role in it too. But I also have to give a shout out to Eben background Moss. He was great as the Thing. I really enjoyed him in that as well. And
Mhm.
I'm actually not as familiar with, and I forgot who the other actor was, um, who played, and now I'm going to really show my ignorance, but the fourth member of the Fantastic Four, Johnny Storm. I forgot who played Johnny Storm, so I don't remember the actor's name.
Yeah, that's Human Torch. So that's Joseph Quinn. I mean, you may have known him from Stranger Things.
Okay, I
Yeah,
do know him.
yeah.
Never.
He's a great upcoming actor, and he plays it well for sure. Yeah.
Okay. See, so there you go. I really didn't know. Now that you mentioned that he's from Stranger Things, that's makes sense that he was so great. I don't watch that show, but I
Okay.
do have so again, there you go. But I really enjoyed him, and I really enjoyed a lot of elements of the movie. Like I said, the story, great storytelling. I really, really think as well too, the world that they built was really beautiful to look at. Like aesthetically, it was
Yeah.
beautiful. I really liked the kind of future, like retro futuristic kind of vibe they were going. And I heard that
Hmm.
the art producer, the production designer, was actually the same production designer from Loki. So that was interesting to hear that, and I could
Yeah.
see how beautifully well it was crafted. And although, again, I don't know as much about the MCU, admittedly, going in, I will say that I have to just reiterate that one of the things I liked about this movie is that I didn't feel I needed to do 30 to 40 hours of homework to go
Hmm.
watch it. So I really felt like I could just jump into the story. The pacing was great, right amount of exposition. And it worked really because this is a story about family in my mind. Very relatable theme, and also balanced out by some really great performances. So it was just a great movie that happened to be about superheroes and all the things that regular people have to go through and deal with, emotions of raising a family, bringing a child into the world, and how do you do that as a superhero? It's a really interesting concept as well. So I really enjoyed this movie. That was my thought going into it is that it would be great, but I was really pleasantly surprised. I'm notorious for falling asleep at these movies, actually. Yeah. I'm notorious for it. I
Yeah.
anything Yeah, anything that I've seen recently in the theater um from MCU, I've often fallen asleep. So I was awake from start to finish. That's
Hmm.
one of the best compliments I could give this movie, actually. So I enjoyed it.
Okay. So are you officially a Marvel fan now, or?
I I'm officially looking forward to the next Marvel movie. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next installment. I'll say that I would have some time for the next one for sure.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. Um, it's one of it's the best Fantastic Four film ever. There's been three before
Mm.
this, actually, and the last one did so bad that the rumor is that Fox owned the property of Fantastic Four, but the box office performance in the movie was so bad that that's the reason why they sold this property to Marvel, to Disney, I should say, because of that film. But it worked out, and they got a great director,
Mm.
Matt Chakerman. He directed, I believe, a lot of WandaVision, which was a
Yes,
show I loved, and
a
he
great
also did.
show. Yeah.
He has a great TV. He directed a lot of great TV, Game of Thrones episodes of Game of Thrones
Yeah.
as well. He directed, and he really handled this property very well. And this is an important movie. It's the first movie in Phase 6 of the MCU, which is all headed towards Doomsday and
Mm.
Secret Wars in 2027 as well. And as you know, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Doctor Doom. And yeah, I love the cast. I love the story. There's a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of symbolism as well, a lot of great writing too. I like how Galactus gave them the Sophie's choice. Whether your planet or your baby.
Yeah.
And every mother can identify, what Sue Storm goes through, and also I like how they play each Pedro Pascal, who's so hot right now, how he played um, Reed Richards. So he in the comic books he's the leader, but he's been same way in the comic books. He's been torn between logical thinking and science and his emotions.
Mm,
He even struggles to be a new parent in the film too, as well, and how to kind
yeah.
of resolve this situation and what's the best choice. Yeah,
Yeah, I really enjoyed Pedro Pascal in this movie as well. As you just said, I thought it was really great to see how he played this character and added such dimension to him. And I could understand that. I could see that, this guy has, I mean, is he considered like is this character, Reed Richards' character, considered the smartest man in like the MCU universe? Is he
yes,
thought to be?
he's the genius of the MCU, and so it's like it's Tony Stark, but he's beyond Tony Stark in the universe, and he's like one of the smartest geniuses out there. So it's just, and he plays that really well. But he
Yeah.
also is torn between, you know, what like a lot like his relationship to Sue and the choices he should make based on reasoning. Yeah,
Yeah, I really felt that tension. I felt that
yeah.
Pascal did a great job of that, of, as you said, that tug of war between intellect and the heart, and what he has to do for to keep his family intact, and then
Mhm.
also his duty, right? So it was really, really interesting. And I also want to go back to something you said about Matt Shackman, because yeah, Matt Shackman, you mentioned Game of Thrones, you mentioned WandaVision. I really liked WandaVision. Um,
I love that
Everybody
show.
knows me knows, yeah, that I never really watched Game of Thrones. So I know,
Yeah,
I no, I know. Come for me, that's fine. Come for me. I will get around to it. But anyways, we're not here to defend who watched or didn't watch Game of Thrones. We're here to talk about the movie. So Matt Shackman, okay, obviously he's a great director. I'm dropping those previous credits for a reason, but also he has been um a very frequent collaborator with the group from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So Matt Shackman also directs It's Always Sunny, which is one of my favorite comedies of all time. So when I heard he was attached to it, I thought, oh wow, I really liked
yeah,
WandaVision as well. And I think, and I also heard that this movie was dedicated to his mother who had passed. Um, before obviously it came out, but just before it came out.
yeah,
So I think it was a very interesting thing to see how, his life out like I'm really extrapolating here, so I have no idea if this is the
yeah,
case, but how Matt Jackman's life outside of the movie, how he may have used that or harnessed that energy and that understanding of the special bond between a mother and a son. Must have been really interesting for him to then shoot this movie where we're talking about obviously the bond between family, but also
yeah.
mother and a child. So yeah, I
And
could
I'm glad
see.
you brought that up because he also said in an interview another big inspiration for the film, and in particular one scene, which is an amazing scene in the film, is the birth of Franklin during
Mm,
that space chase when Silver Surfer
yeah,
is chasing them, and then Franklin. I mean, Sue Storm gives birth to Franklin, and that he has said in an interview that that was the most life changing moment in his whole life. So he was very
wow.
thankful to bring that into this film, and it's illustrated in that beautiful scene. Yeah,
Oh wow, that's really great to hear that. And I can imagine, I mean, anybody who has had a child or we all know that moment. It's pretty powerful moment. And yeah, it was handled with a lot of care. So yes, I really enjoyed it as somebody who was walking in with not as many attachments to the
yeah,
MCU. Still found it was a really entertaining movie from start to finish. And I'm glad I saw it in IMAX. Definitely one for the big screen as well too. It was beautiful visually to watch as well too. So yeah. this was a good one. I'm glad that you convinced me to go see it, but um am I excited for what's coming? Yeah, I actually think maybe this will be my entry point.
Are you
Maybe I can
invested? Yeah.
maybe, I don't know. I mean, I want to ask you because obviously um it must have been a really powerful thing for you to see that post-credit scene and
Mhm.
what that must mean, right? So, do you want to talk a bit about the post-credit scene? What were your thoughts when you saw it? What does it mean for the future of MCU? Because you've already spoken a bit about, Doctor Doom previously. So,
Yeah, so like I said, it's just this film is very important. You know, the success of this film is the first film in Phase 6 of the MCU, and then spoiler alert. All right, if you haven't seen the film, you should definitely turn off the podcast immediately because the post credit scene delivers. All right, we see a glimpse of Doctor Doom. He appears 4 years later, and he is talking to Franklin, and in the scene, Franklin reaches out to Doctor Doom, and you don't see Doctor Doom's face, you don't see Robert Downey Jr., you just see his cape, and he takes his mask off, and and Franklin reaches out and is gesturing, touching his face. There's been a lot of speculation
mm,
about what that means.
yeah.
Um, some people think that Galactus in the film not only wanted the planet to devour the planet because he is the devourer of worlds, he also wanted Franklin because he's going to be the successor. So Franklin is one of the most powerful beings in the comic books, and Doctor Doom recognizes that as well. And I think some speculation why he reaches out to Doctor Doom is because Doctor Doom takes off his mask to kind of like almost like lull him in and to
Mhm.
be down to his level as well, because that's what I love about Marvel movies. Everything has a meaning. Every slightest thing is on purpose and intentional. And so he knees down to his level and also takes off his mask to not scare Franklin. And he sees the power. I think he recognizes the power as well because
Mm,
Doctor Doom is one of the most powerful beings in the comic books. And I feel like they're connected in that way with their energy. So I think that's
interesting.
why that scene happens. And I think he's going to take Franklin and then the Fantastic Four, which you see in the post-credit scene in Thunderbolts, they appear in Thunderbolts at the end. Their spaceship
Oh,
appears.
okay.
So what that probably means is once Franklin is taken by Doctor Doom, they go to Earth, the other alternate Earth that the Thunderbolts live in, and they want to get help and tell them about Doctor Doom took their baby. Yeah, and they need help. Yeah.
Oh,
So that's
wow.
very
Okay.
interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Very layered.
Yeah,
Many, many layers to this, man.
there's definitely levels to this for sure. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting
Wow.
because Fantastic Four takes place in an alternative Earth. Basically, it's a numbered Earth. I forget what the number is. Apparently,
Okay.
that everything is intentional. The number that they chose for this Earth is the authors Jack Kirby's, who created the Fantastic Four with Stan Lee in the '60s. That's his birthday, and so there's lots of Easter eggs
Oh.
like that sprinkled throughout the film, which I can appreciate as well. Yeah,
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is
yeah,
one thing I think is beautiful about the world that they built, and that is something that I think is really wonderful for people that have, stuck by all of the MCU films is that you get that kind of rich tapestry
yeah,
where you get rewarded because you have all these little Easter eggs, and I think that's what makes it so like collectively such a great experience too. Is like for people who are part of this fandom, and you can tell me if this is the case for you. It's like just geeking out over the little things that are in the movies and trying to interpret what do you think that means. Well, what do you think that means, and coming up with fan theories. It's like it really gets you engaged and really makes you feel like you're part of something.
yeah,
And I think that's the beauty of art, the beauty of cinema as well too. But this world in particular, And these types of movies, I think, they really do seem to have a really powerful impact, because it is something that, yeah, it creates a community in and of itself around these movies, right? And you probably read the comic books as a kid, and maybe your brother introduced you to the comic books, and then he got introduced to comic books. So it's, you inherit the love of these films, I think, in many ways as well too.
And exactly, and another thing they got right in this film, which the previous films since really Endgame have been lacking. Aside from Thunderbolts, I thought that was great as well. But the stakes have been raised in this film.
Hmm.
In this film, they're not only is their planet in jeopardy, and everyone living on the planet, but their baby is in jeopardy as well, and also this
Hmm.
force, Doctor Doom. So they're raising the stakes. What is he going to do to their planets now? Not only their planet, but other planets as well. So they definitely raise the stakes in this film, and yeah, I loved it. I loved it. I think they're on the right track again. They definitely fell off after Endgame, and the last bunch of movies since Endgame have been haven't performed at the box office as well.
Hmm.
Thunderbolts was performed pretty good at the box office, but it was under expectations. And they're saying that Fantastic Four is it's still number one, I think, on the box office as of now.
I believe it is.
So it's
Hmm.
doing well, and I think more people should see it. I think Marvel kind of their strategy after Endgame was uh, quantity over quality, and they kind of lost track
Mm.
of what made them so successful. These long term storylines, uh, quality writing, quality characters, and I think people are going to get invested now with Fantastic Four heading to Doomsday. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it does seem to be doing, as you said, still crushing at the box office
yeah,
and bringing in new fans and old fans alike. And so, yeah, as you said, maybe this is it. Marvel might be back on track now. And like you also said, Pedro Pascal is so hot right now. Like he's
yeah.
in everything. He's in everything. So,
And he
yeah.
has a lot of when he has a lot of anxiety too on this press tour, right? And when he gets anxiety, a lot of people are talking about his anxiety. Him and Vanessa Kirby are very are very close.
Yeah,
Press
they
tour. I want
are.
to talk about
They
that, too,
are.
which has been a
Yeah, they are.
topic. Yeah,
I mean, I think I didn't know. So I don't know anything about Pedro's
yeah.
anxiety. Is that something that he's talked about very openly, that he gets anxiety when he's doing press
Yeah, he
normally?
has
Is that
talked about it. He's
okay?
talked about he gets anxiety when he does these press tours, and him and Vanessa are very close,
Mhm.
and she kind of like calms him down. I feel like I think it seems like the relationship they have when on these press tours, like being close to her calms his anxiety.
Wow, I didn't know that. So that is really giving me a new flavor now for all the interviews I've seen, because
Yeah,
I have seen people talk about how close they are and
yeah,
how affectionate they are, and
very
like
affectionate. Yeah,
very affectionate. And now that you've told me that, it kind of adds a different dimension to what I've seen, right? Like, okay, so I wonder now if it's just, yeah, there's a comfort that he has maybe with her, and she knows, she literally knows how to keep him calm and grounded. I don't know, but I'm not sure. Like massaging his neck, maybe that's helps him with his anxiety. Because I've yeah, they seem to have a very almost intimate.
yeah,
Um,
they're very close. Yeah, you've seen a lot on social media. They're holding hands.
yeah, yeah. Wow. I mean, I guess who knows? Maybe that is
I
yeah,
want some of
she's a
that
safe
anxiety.
space.
I'll
Guess.
take some of that anxiety for sure. But there,
You know,
but back to the
yeah,
film, there's a lot of like subtle things too, which is so like that's why I love this movie too. Is like Human Torch in the comic books. He's a ladies' man, right? And
yeah.
he's definitely a player, and he's And then in this movie, he does like they do acknowledge that too, right? Because he
Yeah,
like falls in love with Silver Surfer at first glance, played by what's her name?
Julia
Oh,
Garner.
classic Julia Garner from Ozark. Yeah, and she
Uh-huh.
plays Silver Surfer very well, who's the messenger of Galactus. There's another subtle thing too, which like maybe people don't notice, is that the Thing, Ben Grimm, he's the first to notice that Sue Storm is pregnant.
Yes,
That was
that
a
was a great scene.
and the reason is because not only they're so close, they're almost like a family at this point, but in the comic books, he has a thing for Sue Storm. And so he
Oh.
recognizes that, yeah. So he has a bit of a crush on her in the comic books. So it's just like,
Mm.
it's really cool how they kind of like subtly hinted at that he was the first to recognize that she's pregnant. Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. So okay, so then you think because of his infatuation with her, whenever something changed about her,
Yeah,
he'd be
exactly.
the first to know.
He'd be the
Oh,
first to know.
interesting.
He's aware of that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I see. I did that one. Woo, if
And
I,
another thing
but
too we're
hmm,
talking about online is that do you know you saw Wakanda Forever with Namor,
I
right?
did. Yep.
With Namor, so he in the comic books, well, he's going to be in Doomsday, and in the comic
Hmm.
books, he has an affair with Sue Storm. So it's going to be people are
Oh,
speculating.
wow.
Is that going to be some sort of storyline in the next few movies, or are they going to even hint at that? It's very interesting that he's going to be in Doomsday as well. Yeah, there are all
Oh,
these different
wow.
subplots which are they're kind of sprinkling into the film, and you have to kind of make watch out for them. Yeah, yeah,
I love that. I love that for you. I love that for MCU
yeah,
fans because then it does give you options. You can start to then choose your own adventure before you get to the theater. It builds so
yeah,
much anticipation because now you're speculating, well, what does that mean? Does that mean this is going to happen? Are they going to pull this comic thread? Are they going to pull that thread? I think
yeah,
that's really cool, right? And then obviously paying homage, to Stanley and Jack Kirby, like that's also really beautifully done as well too. And I, yeah, that's wow, that's really interesting. So like now it does make me want to go back and actually do a little bit more homework.
yeah,
But like I said, what I liked about this is that I didn't have to do the homework and I still enjoyed it. But then hearing your analysis and all the little Easter eggs that are crammed into this movie, that's it makes it even more interesting to me. I did think there were some really wonderful scenes as well that stood out. I love that you called out the scene with Sue at the table when they find out that she's pregnant, because I thought that was very interesting that the Thing was like, "You're pregnant, right?" Like
yeah,
that was a really great scene, and also very true to life. That often in a group of people when that happens, when somebody, and if anybody's experienced that themselves or with a friend or a family member, when someone's pregnant and they're kind of in the early stages and they don't want to say anything yet, sometimes like you can tell, okay, what's going on with these two, or like, is she pregnant? Like there's that constant speculation as a woman as well.
yeah,
Like if you experience gaining weight or not gaining weight, or like if you're in a relationship with someone, people will kind of be looking to see, like, especially for my friends and those who have married, like right away people are kind of waiting to watch to see, like, okay,
yeah,
when are you going to pop the kid out, right? So I think it's an interesting thing, that the Thing also picked up on that, and to hear what you explained earlier about the backstory, that's really neat. Were there any other scenes for you that really stood out? Because I thought it was a beautiful movie, and I thought there are probably some other things that were crammed in there, that were also in and of themselves like great scenes in the movie, but also maybe echoes from other things from the past. I'm just curious, like what were some of the things that you enjoyed in the movie in terms of the scenes that they showed us? Because it was a really beautiful movie to watch as well.
Oh, it was amazing. I loved when Silver Surfer first arrives and she has, that great line, I herald, uh, this is the beginning, this is the end of your planet. I herald Galactus. I love that line. And I like how each character has kind of like a conflicts too, right? Silver Surfer isn't
Mm.
completely bad. She had a choice to make and she made her choice. and it was
Yeah.
to be the messenger or her planet dies. And so I really liked the scene. Also, another scene I liked is when they return from their mission to try and talk to Galactus, and they come back, and the reporters are asking them, including Reed Richards, who they're like, "Are we going to be okay? Like, you won, right?" And
Right.
he's like, "I don't know." Like, he's the one always. He's a genius. He's like the Einstein, the you know yeah, of the universe, and he doesn't know what's going to happen. And to see that doubt in his face, I think that was very powerful, especially because Pedro Pascal is such a great actor as well. And I really like the scene too. The birth scene we talked about was
Mm.
beautiful. I like the scene
Yeah.
when Sue Storm, I mean, yeah, Sue, she says that she comes out to the media and talking about she's not going to, she's going to choose her son, but she's also, because she wants her son to grow up in this planet. That's why. So
Mm.
she makes the choice for her son, but she's trying to make it sense for the entire Earth that it's because she wants to see her child grow up in this on this planet. Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought that was a very powerful scene. I forget how exactly how the words she says, but it's just really well written. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I agree. I think you hit the nail on the head with the scenes you chose as well stood out to me. Um, I also wanted to go back to something that you were asking, or you were saying, not even asking, you were saying that the Human Torch was in love with Silver Surfer.
yeah.
And did I hear that right? So is that is that what you think? Is that what you know from the history of the characters from outside of the movie? Or like what made you say that? Like you
Well,
think
I
that
mean, like I would say it's more of a crush situation, but he's like in the comic books, he's definitely a ladies' man for sure, and he's also hot headed too in the comic books. They didn't really, which makes sense, right? He's the Human Torch, right? So uh, they didn't really show that he's hot headed in that movie, which I thought it could have been better if they did. But they showed that he's a bit of a ladies' man. And he just becomes infatuated with her. Yeah, as soon as he sees her. Yeah,
mm,
which I thought was great. Yeah, yeah,
okay, okay, so let me ask you about the other I guess I'll call it a romance in the movie between and I'm gonna keep calling him the Thing, but I don't know if we should be
yeah,
calling
yeah,
him Ben or whatever. But the Thing and Natasha Lyonne's character. I
yeah.
I this was interesting for me because I love Natasha Lyonne. Um, what what was that? So what is that also something that is something from outside the movie? Is this some a character that you expected to see in this movie or
Yeah, that's from the comic books. I forget what her name is, but she's a real character in the comic books.
okay?
They end up getting married in the comic books, so
Oh, okay. So it does. Okay, that
it
was
does
my
turn
next
into
question.
something. Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah,
Okay, because I really liked. I mean, I love that for him.
yeah, yeah,
I love love. So obviously, um, I really, if anything, and this is a
yeah.
mild complaint. I didn't think that she was very well utilized, but maybe now that I'm hearing that from you that she's actually going to play a larger role later, that was enough, that we just needed to be introduced to her,
Yeah,
and maybe that's all she needed to be there for, right? Is to just create an opportunity for us to see the inner workings of the Thing and to
yeah,
see, give him a little bit more dimension. But I really liked yeah, I liked that sort of subplot, and I was actually hoping that I'd see more of that, but maybe that was all that needed to be shown. There were a couple of side characters that I thought like these are two actors that, for example, Sarah Niles' character. I don't know if you
yeah,
remember, like Sarah Niles from Ted Lasso fame, was
yeah.
playing. I'm not even sure what was her role. Was her role? What was she? She was like their almost like an agent or something. I didn't know what she was supposed to be, but
I'm not exactly sure on that one, actually. Yeah,
okay. Because I
yeah,
felt like those two characters were very much footnotes, but I understand that this was
yeah.
not necessarily about them, that they were vehicles maybe to move the plot a little bit. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. Natasha Lyonne's character for sure would have liked to have seen more of her, and I also thought, yeah, Sarah Niles almost felt like, is this actually her part, or was there stuff that was like cut that didn't make the cut?
I
But
don't know
again,
where to go
I don't
with
know.
Sarah Niles, but yeah, Natasha Lyonne, she's a real character in the comic books, and they end up together. They end up getting married, and so I'm sure they will continue that. Um, they also, what's great about which they showed in the movie too, is that they become celebrities right after they go to space, and they come back with these powers. But the only member of the team who can't conceal their powers is the Thing. So
Right.
it's like he's now in the celebrity spotlight, but he's burdened with this, the way he looks. Uh,
Yeah.
and he can't conceal this. He's always the Thing, right? um, like Incredible Hulk, he can conceal his powers, but yeah, the Thing can't. He's the only member of the team who can't. So he's kind of that weighs on him, right?
Yeah.
So I thought they showed that well also in the film, and
Hmm.
they even introduced Mole Man too. Mole
Yeah.
Man is a main villain in the Fantastic Four universe, and he's played in this film by Paul Walter Hauser.
Hauser. Yep.
He's
Great
great.
actor.
He's
Yep.
a great actor. We'll see more of him for sure. There was rumors that he was going to be in the final Quentin Tarantino movie. Uh, yeah, Quentin Tarantino was writing a film which was going to be called The Critic, and he was going to be the main character in the film. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, but I
Okay.
don't know if that's ever happening now. But yeah, he's in a lot of upcoming projects. But I'm glad they put him in as the Mole Man, because it was done so well, because he doesn't like Reed Richards. He has this whole society which is underground. That's why they call him the Mole.
Ah, okay.
And that they connected that in the storyline really well, because when Galactus invades Earth, instead of killing all these people, they put them under the Mole Man takes them into the underground city. Yeah, which is great. Yeah.
Okay, and I did hear a lot of chatter, like even around me in the theater,
Yeah.
people talking about, yeah, about Mole Man. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense then. It tracks why he made sense to kind of come in at the end. Yeah, it was a great movie. So I mean, I've learned so much just talking to you just now. So many
Yeah.
things that I did not know, and yet I really enjoyed this movie. So maybe this is a testament, like you said, to the universality of the story and the relatability and like
Even
pulling
if you
in.
don't, even if you haven't done your homework, you haven't seen the
Yeah.
last, few years of Marvel films, you still enjoy it, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely. Like here's a sign that I enjoyed it. Well, one, I'm having a conversation with you about it. But two, if someone asked me if I wanted to see it again, I would see it again. I would
Wow.
actually go and see it again. And I think that's a sign of a good movie for me generally. There's a lot
Yeah.
of movies that I put in the category of, yeah, I enjoyed it. But
Mhm.
if someone asked me if I'd like to go see it again, no, I'm
Yeah.
good. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I know, I hear you on that. I want to see it again for sure. I didn't get to see it on the IMAX. I saw it in VIP. But I do want to see it before it goes in theaters in IMAX, because Galactus must have looked really
Oh,
amazing on the IMAX. Yeah.
definitely. Yeah. And I was watching because I think I said I wasn't sure if I should go see this in IMAX. I actually consulted you
Yeah.
um on this one, and I'm glad I did. I did see a lot more on the screen. Like I saw somebody post the actual difference between the two screens, which may be obvious to some of our listeners, but like you don't actually recognize how much more you're seeing until you see the difference shown to you. And yeah, definitely beautiful movie. I think that it's yeah, it's one that I'm glad I saw. I'd put it up there, and like if you were to give it a scale of 1 to 10, Andrew, what would you rate this movie?
I give it a 9 out of 10. I loved it. Yeah.
Okay.
They're got
Okay.
back on track for sure. It got me excited, and I want to see it again. And yeah, the performances, the writing, just chef's kiss for me. How about you? What do you get?
Well, now I say if if I say 9, I feel like I'm copying you. But I was I'm also gonna say nine, but I was gonna say nine before you said nine
Okay,
because
all right.
I gotta say nine. I'm gonna say nine because I really did enjoy it more than I enjoyed it more than an eight, and I reserve a special place in the cinematic vault for tens. So yeah, I'll give it a nine easily, easily a nine.
Okay,
Yeah,
wow, all right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm glad that we were able to talk about this movie because, as you said, it is an important one in the MCU universe. And thank you for like I don't know, lacing me with some extra knowledge because now I feel like, yeah, okay, I did enjoy it, but now I feel like I can actually think about it again with some more insider knowledge about why, as you say, everything was intentionally there. So yeah, maybe I'll go see it again with all this knowledge. I don't know, but thanks for walking me through this. And if anything, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people that'll also have opinions on some of the things that they saw, Easter eggs in the movie, what they thought of the movie itself. Are they MCU fans? I'd love to hear all this as well too. So you know what to
Yeah,
do.
what did you think
Hit
of the post-credit scene? For sure, I would love to hear that as well. Yeah.
yes, yes, absolutely. I would love to hear that as well too. So get at us. Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and we'd love to keep the conversation going. And I think Andrew, it's over to you. Let people know how can they talk to us.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, leave us a comment. If you wanna, if you wanna do a part two about where this is going potentially, or what you're excited about
Yeah.
for the next phase of the MCU, follow us on Instagram at culture_alchemy. We want to keep the conversation going.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And until next time, alchemists, stay curious.